Hey guys, today we're going to talk about The Life of Chuck. I saw this last night, May 20th at an early screener. It doesn't release until June 6th in select theaters and June 11th nationwide. I hadn't read the source material for this film, a short story by Stephen King. So a part of me was like, I wonder if there will be slight horror elements, and to an extent there kind of is, but not really. But I do know Mike Flanagan, and I'm a big fan of his work, whether it's his Netflix shows or the films he's done. Quite a few are also Netflix. I know at a young age I watched the film Before I Wake, which I believe he wrote and directed, and that kind of sparked my my love for horror as a younger kid. You know, watching it at a friend's house that I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but since then, I've followed his work. I still need to watch Midnight Mass. I just recently watched Fall of House of Usher, and that was fantastic. But I know I like him, and I like his style and the way he writes things. And so I was really interested to see what he did with this because I didn't know anything about it. I watched one trailer, and I don't remember anything from it because I don't think it showed too much. But I really went into it pretty blind. I saw this with a buddy of mine who also went in blind as well. And he had seen one trailer like halfway through before he came because he just couldn't resist himself, and then he decided not to watch it. So it seemed like that was kind of the case with the people there too. Talking to the couple of people who I didn't know who sat next to me, they're ready to watch it and excited, and they didn't know any of the source material. So I think that's a big part of the draw for this movie, is that the trailers aren't giving too much away, aren't saying much about what the movie is. People are more going because it's Mike Flanagan, because it's Stephen King, and more importantly, because it's Tom Hiddleston. Everyone loves him. Ever since he took on the role of Loki, people love him. And might I just say, there are a ton of actors in this movie that I did not realize were in this movie. Tom Hiddleston is the lead, even though he plays Chuck, but he's not in as much as you'd expect him to be. So it was interesting that he got top bill, but I almost think that, and I guess minor spoiler here, it is called The Life of Chuck, but there is a younger version of him in this film that we spend more time with, and I think that version is more the lead than Tom Hiddleston is. This movie does something really interesting with time. Mike Flanagan likes to mess around with that and jumping from place to place a lot. And I won't spoil what exactly it does, but the way it does it really unravels the story and keeps you engaged, wondering what exactly is going on. Why are all these weird things happening? Is this like, I won't say that, but is this one thing or is this something else? And it really keeps you thinking. And I don't know if this film's going to be for everyone. I think that for me, it really worked the way they laid everything out. By the end of the movie, you come up with your own, I guess, idea of what it's about. And I think that there are things that everyone should and will take away from this film, but I also think that you can look at this in a lot of different perspectives, and I think that's really important. For me, it was really just kindness that stuck out. This film is all about kindness and positivity and living your life to its fullest extent. I feel like that's something the world needs to hear right now. There's so much butting of heads, whether it's over something dumb or over politics or over whatever you want to come up with that people want to argue about. Everything just has to be an argument nowadays, I feel like. And that is something that is really hurtful to everyone. And I think what this film tries to say is that you will have these arguments, these things will happen, but through these things you grow as people, and you should be coming together through these disagreements and not farther apart. And how impactful and important it is to come back together, that connective tissue between everyone. And I think that's what really works for me. The performances are what drive that home. Tom Hiddleston, yes, he's amazing, especially, mainly in the middle of the film. He's got this really awesome, there's this really awesome dance sequence, and there was even two guys during the dance sequence who got up and also started dancing, which was, it was fine. Wasn't my favorite thing to see people do in the middle of a theater, but whatever. If they felt like they needed to dance, they felt like they needed to dance. But the crowd was reacting to the things in this film. It was definitely a crowd pleaser, and I think that came from the emotion and the performances. So Tom Hiddleston is great. Chiwetel Ejiofor, he was a standout for me. I haven't seen him in too much, just here and there and things. I'm a big Marvel and DC guy, so I've seen him in Doctor Strange, and then I think he was in that horrendous Venom movie from last year, but you know, he really stood out, and the thing that they do with his character, which I won't spoil, but the thing that they do with his character was really awesome. It's really awesome. So he was great. Karen Gillan doesn't have too much to do, but she was really awesome as well. And then just all around, Mark Hamill was really great. I'm not a huge Mark Hamill guy. He is my favorite Joker. I think he's the most comic accurate Joker. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy anymore. Fine in those movies, but other than that, I haven't really watched him in too much else. He was in Fall of House of Usher, which he was also really good in, but other than those things, I haven't seen him in too much. But I think that he stood out here. The character that he played really stood out for me, because he just felt like a grandpa, and like he almost stereotypical grandpa, but not really. I don't really know how to explain it, but it worked really well for what he was trying to do, and I think that he gave a really great performance. I'm blanking on the lady who plays the grandma. I'll put her name right here, but she was excellent. I teared up a little bit during a couple of her sequences, because I just felt so attached to her and the emotions that she was going through what all happens during the film. And yeah, she was really great. But I think altogether this film it's not my favorite thing ever. I think there's a couple pacing issues. The middle kind of slows down quite a bit, unfortunately, and can take you out of the story. And I think that this whole time while you're watching it, you're trying to kind of figure out what's going on. And then if you do figure out what's going on, which I think there's a place in the film where you will figure out what's going on. It's pretty up in your face, but they don't expressly say it. I think once you figure that out, you're like, okay, where are we going from here? And then the movie still has like 25, 30 minutes left, which isn't a bad thing. The whole thing is just paced really, really differently than what I would have expected. Even though they say what act you're in as you're going through the movie, like it literally pops up. So things work. Some things didn't. The cinematography is beautiful, but overall, not for everyone. But I think that it has a really important story and a really important message. And I think that people should go see this. I think people will go see it. And I think what they'll get from it is really important. And I think that's what matters to me. It doesn't matter that it wasn't the greatest thing of all time, right? Movies don't all need to be that. They don't need to be amazing. You need to get something out of it. You need to feel something. That's what actors are. They're here to elicit emotion from you. That's their job. And I think that this film did that and did it well. And I think that for me, that's what I needed. I go to the movies for a great time and to feel something. And for me, I got those two things. So that's 2 thumbs up for me. It's on my scale of film. It's definitely not my favorite of the year. It's in my top 5. I haven't seen too much that have come out this year, but it does its job well, and I think they did what they wanted to do with it, and that's important. So solid 3.5 out of 5 for me. But yeah, if you guys have seen it already, or you're gonna go see it June 6th or June 11th, whenever it's nationwide, let me know what you thought. Put that down in the comments below. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.